2025 has brought us a lot of surprises. What surprises am I talking about? Surprises about teams winning their first trophies. You go to France and PSG has won their first Champions League trophy in the entirety of their history. Hibernian also won their first trophy in Scotland. Crystal Palace also won the FA Cup for the first time in the history of the club. Let's come back to Ghana and come back to the Ghana Premier League. And history has been created, history has been made. Because Bibiani Gold Stars has become the latest champion. They pipped House of Folk, Nations FC, and Asante Kotoko to the title. For the 2024-2025 season, we have a newly declared champion in Bibiani Gold Stars. I am very surprised. I am very surprised because going into the dying embers of the game, I felt strongly that Nations FC would have won the league. Because if you look at the trajectory of Nations FC from the beginning of the season till last week's matches, they were practically the best team in the league. But we all know what happened. We all saw what happened when they played against Basaki Holy Stars, where Nations FC abandoned the match because they felt that they were threatened. They felt that they were macho men with cutlasses on the pitch. But moving away from that, what did Bibiani Gold Stars do to win the league? Because it's been a tough and a difficult hunting grounds for newcomers, for clubs that are not really established in the league to win the championship. That is why over the past couple of seasons, you realize that Bekum Chelsea has won the league. Bibiani Stars has won the league. Samatex won it last season. House of Folk won it in in the year 2020-2021 season. And then Dr. Prosper Ogum led Asante Kotoko to win it last 2 years. So what thing exactly did Bibiani Gold Stars do? What magic were they able to create that in the 34 match season they were able to dispossess Asante Kotoko, the biggest club in Ghana, arguably, House of Folk, with all the financial muscle of these two clubs? Because nobody can tell me, no, absolutely nobody can tell me that Bibiani Gold Stars has more resources than Asante Kotoko and House of Folk combined. No, they don't. So is it a structural problem? Is it a leadership problem? Is it finances? Is it resources? Is it a lack of better recruitment? What is the problem? The league has ended. Nations FC were second. Lions were third. I am very surprised because when Lions came into the season, when Lions were promoted into the Ghana Premier League from Division 1 last season, I never really thought that Lions was going to put up a show. But backed by Dr. Randy Abbey, they've put up a fight. And if you see the trajectory of the league, from the beginning till about maybe the 15th to the 20th match, they were on top of the league. Everybody thought that Lions was going to win the league because the football that they played, the consistency, the composure that they were able to show within the first couple of matches. I thought that they were going to go far. But along the line, they tailed off. It shows you how difficult the terrain is. It shows you how tough winning the Ghana Premier League is. Then came Nations FC. Fantastic from the 20th from match with 20th till the penultimate match. Because before the penultimate match, they were leading the log, playing some fantastic football. Then last week, the penultimate match, they had a problem. They abandoned the match when they were losing by a goal to nil. But I have always asked, why is it that when it comes to the Ghana Premier League, There are always issues with refereeing decisions. Yes, genuinely. Even if you go to England, if you go to Germany, if you go to the big leagues in Europe, we know referees sometimes do get decisions wrong. That is why we've brought in VAR. Even with VAR, you and I can attest to the fact that sometimes decisions are given and VAR decisions, and we all shout, "What is happening? What is actually happening?" But when it comes to the Ghana Premier League, it has taken a toll, because one of the major problems that we have had concerning our league is refereeing decisions. It is a serious issue that we have to look at, a serious issue that has to be dealt with. Because if sponsors are not coming to the league, if TV viewership is not interesting, what are the reasons why? Because I do not see a reason why we have a Ghana Premier League, and for the past couple of seasons, major sponsors are not coming on board. Meanwhile, the football is good. Nobody can tell me that the football is not good. The football is good. That is why you realize that some of the players are now gaining attraction into the Black Stars. The players are gaining attraction into the Black Stars, because if the quality of the Ghana Premier League is not that high, I doubt if they'll be given the privilege and opportunity to be a part of the Black Star squad. So on that front, we can say that the quality is good. It is not the best that we hope for, but it is a process that is in place, and we are getting there. Let's come back to the champions once again. Bibiani Gold Stars. What is the secret? What is the secret of Bibiani Gold Stars? Because if you look at their wage bill, they are not even in the top 10 when it comes to the club that is paying well in the Ghana Premier League. Asante Kotoko is on top. They pay their players well. They take the welfare of their players into serious consideration, to the extent that when Dr. Prosper Ogu was not doing well, he was sacked. The reason was that they wanted to win the league. 4 matches up, I think 5 matches into the end of the league, they sacked Dr. Prosper Ogu. Don't forget that Dr. Prosper Ogum had already won the league with Kotoko 2 seasons ago. He left and he came back this season with the idea, with the mentality that he was going to win the league. So when the hierarchy of Asante Kotoko felt that the league was out of reach for Dr. Prosper Ogum, he was booted out. That is synonymous with coaching. You are hired to be fired. So I wasn't surprised. But at the end of the day, the reasons and the purposes for which he was booted out have not been achieved. Because Kotoko placed 5th after the season ended. Remember, going into the final match of the day, final match of the season, Kotoko were 3rd, behind Bibiani Gold Stars, Nation FC. And Kotoko were 5th. Kotoko were 3rd. So if Kotoko had won their match against Vision FC, even though they lost 3-1, if Kotoko had won, meaning that if Bibiani Gold Stars had lost against Accra Lions and Nation FC, after having lost also, then it means that Kotoko would have had the opportunity to be crowned champions. But on the day that it mattered the most, they lost. They went a goal up, but at the end of the final 90 minutes, they lost 3-1. House of Folk on the final day also won 1-0 against Samates, last season's winners, surprise winners though. But my very big question is that, with Bibiani Gold Stars having been declared the champions of the Ghana Premier League, are they prepared enough, personnel-wise, resource-wise, structure-wise, for the Champions League this season? Because we have seen clubs in the Ghana Premier League qualify for the Champions League, and sometimes failed to go. To the extent that, you remember, 10 years ago, Ghana had 2 slots when it comes to the CAF Champions League, and 2 slots when it comes to the CAF Confederations League. Meaning that at the end of every season, we have 4 representatives in Africa. But because of different reasons, key reasons: 1, lack of progress to the group stages or the money zone, and 2, failure on the part of teams that have qualified to the Champions League or the Confederations Cup from participating, citing lack of resources and funds. CAF, after a period of time, took away our slot, gave us 1 in the Champions League, gave us 1 in the CAF Confederations Cup. So we lost 2 slots when it comes to African football. I ask again, has Bibiani Gold Stars got the resources? Has Bibiani Gold Stars got the financial muscle to represent Ghana in the CAF Champions League? Because don't forget, they are going up against Laliga, the richest club in Africa, who has won the CAF Champions League more than 12 times. They are going up against Esperance. They are going up against TP Mazembe, bankrolled by a gold miner. They are going up against teams from South Africa, some of the best run teams on the continent. Is Bibiani Gold Stars prepared to compete with all these clubs that I have mentioned? Remember recently, Enyimba in Nigeria, a couple of years ago, they were the big shots when it comes to the Nigerian Premier League. But what has happened to them? You see, running football in Africa is not a child's play. It entails a lot of money. Teams have resources, but they lack the proper structure to make it work. A typical example is House of Folk. For the past 13 to 14 years, when Togbi Apede took over House of Folk, Togbi has spent a lot of money making sure that the structures are right, making sure that they invest into the playing body, making sure that they invest into pitches, making sure that they invest into the club. But for the past 14 seasons, they've won the league only once, in the 2020-2021 season, when they were led by Samuel Buedu. What is the problem? And remember, when they won the league and went to Africa, they were humiliated. They were totally annihilated. Were they not prepared? Were they not prepared? Because if you look at our football in general, as a country, I can tell you for a fact that in as much as we see a bit of progress because a couple of years ago we all saw what happened through the Anas expose and everything that happened. So if we can go through a 34 league match season without an expose or without any hindrance, I think that is a positive thing that we can talk about. But are our clubs prepared to go to Africa and make an impact? To me, I say a big no. Because if Kotoko, if House of Folk, the biggest clubs in Ghana, are not capable of making an impact, are not capable of making a footprint when it comes to African football, then what is Bibiani Gold Stars going to do? You might beg to differ with me, but I do not think sincerely that after having won the Ghana Premier League, Bibiani Gold Stars is resourced enough, has the capability, the capacity, the personnel to make an impact in Africa. I do not think so. I think last season or last 2 seasons, Dreams FC went to the semis of the CAF Confederations Cup. And for close to 15 years, it's more than 15 years, because way back in 2004, when House of Folk and Asante Kotoko met in the finals of the CAF Confederations Cup, no Ghanaian team has had a positive impact by going to a finals of an African competition. What is the problem? What is the problem? Is it finance? Is it lack of development? Is it lack of structures? Is it lack of technical know-how? Or is it that when players are trained in their youthful ages, then they are sent outside? Even if that is the case, are you going to blame them? Because I do not see how a player should be in the Ghana Premier League and being paid 1,000 Ghana cedis a month, 800 Ghana cedis a month, 1,500 Ghana cedis a month, right? Which until the dollar came to 12 cedis or 10 cedis was about $100, $100 a month. So if such a player is 18, 19, 20, barring the fact that he's reduced his age, and there's potential in him, and there's a contract in Egypt, there's a contract in Sri Lanka, there's a contract in probably anywhere, $100,000, $200,000, should he not leave? All these factors are making it difficult for our teams to make an impact in Africa. You see, difficult to make an impact in Africa. But yet again, I say kudos to Bibiani Gold Stars for the fact that in a league where there's Asante Kotoko, in the league where there's Basaki Holy Stars, in the league where there's House of Folk, in the league where there's Lions, in the league where they are not the most resourced club, in the league where they are not the most well-run club, in the league where they don't have the foundation as a traditional club, they have been able to win the league. I say kudos to them. A big kudos to them. But my question then again, are they going to be able to make an impact when they go to Africa? Because that is the essence of winning the league. If you win the league, it means that you are prepared to go to Africa and make an impact. It is not just making up the numbers. Because if you win the league and you go to Africa, right, and you are knocked out in the first round, then what's the essence? What is the essence? Remember that we are chasing the slots that have been taken away from us. I told you proud that we have 2 slots when it comes to the Champions League. We have 2 slots when it comes to the CAF Confederations Cup. 2 has been taken away from us because of our poor performances over the years. But if the way Dreams FC was able to get to the semis of the CAF Confederations Cup last season, if Bibiani Gold Stars is able to go far, go to the money zone in the Champions League, right? And then next season we have a representative from the Ghana Premier League again going far. We might add up our points to the extent that we might get our allocations back. But if Bibiani Gold Stars go to Africa, goes to the CAF Champions League, and within the first hurdle they are booted out, then sorry, our slot is not going to be given back to us again. But on the whole, I would say that the 2024-2025 Ghana Premier League has been successful. I will give it a 60% because we've had a few skirmishes here and there, especially refereeing decisions. And when people are talking about VAR is not an automatic something. VAR is controlled by referees. So if the referees on the pitch are getting it wrong, if the referees on the pitch are not being authentic, if the referees on the pitch are perceived to be biased, then that's what is going to happen if we introduce VAR. And they're still going to be controlled by the same referees, VAR officials. So I believe that the Ghana Referees Association should be very careful going into the season. They should choose competent referees, or they should train their referees very well, because the referees are the enablers of the game. Because with bad officiating, we cannot progress the Ghana Premier League. Because the standard of officiating the Ghana Premier League is poor. You and I know that. It is poor. What are the reasons why? Are they not being remunerated enough? Are their wages not being paid on time? Are they not being paid well? These are questions that connoisseurs of the game should be asking. And secondly, I have a serious problem when it comes to the structure of the Ghana Premier League. Club owners are the ones running the league. You know, a serious flaw when it comes to the structure of the Ghana Premier League. Because I have not seen this anywhere. And I've followed football for 25 years. I have not seen this before. You know, I have not. As indicated, the Ghana Premier League 2024-2025 has been a successful one. And on this note, I say adieu